In this video, I'll be comparing FlutterFlow and Android Studio to help you decide which tool is right for your next mobile project. Let's get started. I begin by opening FlutterFlow in my browser. As a browser-based low-code builder, it immediately presents a highly visual interface. I navigate to the custom code section where I can define functions, widgets, and actions using Dart. I'm currently writing a simple greeting function. I define the return type as a string and add a time-based argument. The editor provides syntax highlighting and basic linting, making it easy to bridge the gap between visual building and custom logic. Now I switch over to the UI builder. I'm working on a banking app template. I select various components like containers and text fields to see how they are structured in the widget tree. I can easily modify properties on the right-hand panel, such as changing text from savings to checking or adjusting the padding and alignment. I also dive into the theme settings to show how easy it is to manage a global design system. I can pick a primary color from a palette or enter a hex code, and the change reflects across the entire app instantly. Next, I explore the database configuration. FlutterFlow integrates deeply with Firebase. I'm looking at a transactions schema where I can define fields like date created and transaction value. I add a new field for transaction type and set it as an enum. Everything is managed through dropdowns and simple text inputs, which significantly speeds up the backend setup process. I move down the landing page to highlight FlutterFlow's core strengths. It's built for speed, allowing me to build UIs visually with over 200 pre-designed elements. I can add complex logic using a visual action flow editor, which looks like a flowchart. This is great for seeing the if-then logic of my app at a glance. I also have access to a debug panel and test mode to fix bugs before deployment. The platform even supports team collaboration where I can invite users and manage different branches of the project. Finally, I check the export options. FlutterFlow doesn't lock me in. I can download the clean Flutter code, an APK, or even connect directly to a GitHub repository. Now let's transition to Android Studio. I land on the official developer page and see the download options for the latest version, Panda. Unlike FlutterFlow, this is a heavy-duty integrated development environment that I have to install locally on my Mac, Windows, or Linux machine. I start looking at the new features, specifically the integration of Gemini. This AI assistant helps me generate code, fix errors, and answer technical questions directly within the editor. I also see the device streaming feature, which lets me test my app on real physical devices hosted in the cloud. Looking at the Compose design tools, I see a much more code-centric approach. While there is a preview window, the UI is primarily built using Jetpack Compose code. I scroll through the technical specifications. Android Studio offers an intelligent code editor, a flexible build system powered by Gradle, and an incredibly powerful emulator that can simulate almost any Android device. This is a pro-level environment meant for deep, highly optimized native development. When comparing the two, the difference is clear. FlutterFlow is a high-speed, visual-first platform perfect for rapid prototyping and cross-platform apps with a lower barrier to entry. Android Studio is a comprehensive local powerhouse designed for developers who need total control over the Android ecosystem and native performance. My verdict: if you want to launch a polished, functional app quickly, especially if you're a designer or a startup founder, FlutterFlow is the winner. However, if you are building a complex, high-performance Android-specific application and want the most robust debugging and AI-assisted coding tools available, Android Studio remains the industry standard. If you found this walkthrough helpful, please consider liking the video and subscribing for more quick tips and tutorials.